first one that we're going to do is the chicken stock, because the chicken stock in clean is the base for so many of the recipes. You can have it plain in the morning as a nourishing tea. We can add it to make a soup. We can add it to our chicken dish that we're going to make today out of the Clean Gut book. So I think that's it, and we're going to get cooking right now. What's really fabulous is that it's kind of like making a cake where you throw everything in the pot and you whirl it and you blend it. Same concept here. So you have...
So this is really easy. You can prep everything beforehand. So it's just, all you have to do is literally throw it all in the pot.
And so you take a couple onions or one large onion, and then you can actually even leave the skins on the onions, because it'll actually make it deeper in color. All right, and then there's many different other types of onions that we have. The leeks are another form of an onion that adds sweetness to our stock. So it's really wonderful. For right now, I think what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and we'll put the whole thing of the leek in. Take the yellow leaves off, because you don't want that. Anything that's like brown, doesn't look really great, we're not going to keep that. All right? But the thing about the leek is that you want to open it up, because dirt hides in all the different crevices of the leek.
So here, when you wash it in the sink, kind of fan it like this to get
So
in
Meg,
there.
do you want to go ahead and get the dirt out of that?
I would love to.
I'm a big garlic lover, so I'm just going to throw a bunch of garlic in. When you're making stock, all you have to do is smash it. In the recipe, it says smashing it, and then remove the skin, or not, again, because don't forget, this is going to be a stock. We're going to strain it. So the skins of the onions and the skins of the garlic, you can just throw everything in. And you can just open up the carrots and then, kind of slice them open, getting all the flavor. You want to take and rough chop your celery, leaves and all. All right, so it's about
All of it.
all of it. I like to go deep into the celery where all the leaves are, because the leaves add really nice flavor. And then when you're actually using the celery, the outer celery stalks are really good to add to your soup, because we're not going to really be eating this. All right, we're just taking out all the yummy nutrients and flavor from all the vegetables.
I like eating them when it's all done and cooked.
That's true.
That's my favorite part.
And then all we're going to do right now is we're going to take the chicken and all the chicken bones.
Can you put the parsley and the dill in there?
Not yet. We're going to save the parsley and the dill for the very end, the last hour of cooking, because the herbs, we're getting everything out of the vegetables and all out of the bones from the stock. And then we're going to add the very last hour of cooking. We're going to add all the herbs. So I'm taking my thighs, the wings, the backs, the legs, the more heartier parts of the chicken. And so I've got all my vegetables in there. I've got my chicken. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with water, and then we're going to cook it. The seasonings that we use in the actual cooking are 2 bay leaves, and we're going to throw 8 peppercorns. Don't ask me why that number came from, because that was what my grandmother used. So this recipe actually came from my grandmother. And then you want to add a tablespoon of sea salt. And what the salt does is it actually takes and brings all the nutrients out of the bones. I'm going to take this and put it on the flame. And we're going to bring it to a nice boil. And then we're going to take it and simmer it. And it will simmer anywhere from 8 to 16 to up to 20 hours.
Is it actually boiling?
It's not boiling. Bubbling? It looks like it's doing nothing. Okay. It actually looks like it's doing nothing. You're not seeing any
bubbles,
kind of
it's
bubbles.
too hot.
Okay. Yeah. And that's basically the stock. So the flavor.
It's delicious.
Everyone can have more.
Let's try a lot.
So this stock just is so nourishing. And I know you guys, you have your feelings about this stock. So do you want to share some of these feelings about this?
It feels like good health in a cup.
It does.
Right? It just feels like, oh, I'm better now.
You feel good. It's perfect when you're not ill or whatever, but just when you need to pick me up, it fills you without filling you up. And
Right, it's really satisfying.
comforting, yeah.
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
So
if you get to that point in the day where you're sort of craving a little something, whether it's typically that you reach for something that has sugar or caffeine or whatever, and you go for something like this, it just takes care of all of that.
So what happens when it's cooking down? It's almost like caramelizing, you know? And so it becomes really brown and yummy. And this is the part we all kind of fight over when we're starting to separate. So I'm going to show you how we separate it. And then I want you all to just take a little taste of this and then pass that down. Having your tools set up is really key when you're doing all of this. And so what you want is you want a container for your stock, okay? And then you also want, there's a special name for this, chinois, right? And so what's really great, because then it kind of captures everything right in, you're not really losing anything. And then you want a dish for all your vegetables that you want to keep so that you can puree them at the end. And so all I'm going to do is, knowing what's on the top here, I'm going to start and just grab all this, and I'm going to just start putting it in here. And then once you have all your vegetables out, all right, then what you do is then you start with all of your chicken. Now this chicken meat, you know, it's been cooking for a long time, and so some of the uses that I might make with it, it's still usable, is I'll make like enchiladas with it, or a fajita that, you know, cook down. If you don't have like a spoon like this, you can get one of these. I find these to be fabulous because they just lift everything up, out, and make it so much easier. And then we're not losing any of the stock. And what we have is this beautiful end product of a delicious stock. All right. So I'm going to take this, and usually I'll just let this kind of sit in the morning and just do its thing. But you'll be amazed if you start pressing this down. You'll see there's a lot more juice that comes out of it, a lot more stock. It's really wonderful to have a container that it doesn't have that chemical plastic. So these are ones that I have found that don't have the chemical plastics in it. And because we've all had that sampling of it, is that it will make typically 4 quarts plus a little bit more, because you're going to have all the juice that's coming out of all of this. So you can imagine that's what it makes. But getting yourself a good stock pot, I think, is really great. You want it to have space. So now you have this beautiful stock, okay? And there's so many uses we talked about. We can drink it for tea in the morning. We can use it as a snack. We can add it to dishes, which today we're going to add it to our chicken dish.
You can cook quinoa in it. You can use it to cook
It's just, it has a
other foods
multitude of wonderful uses. The other thing that we have used it for, maybe we can move this out of the way here, is actually making a very quick pureed soup. So you know in Clean, he loves soup. If you're actually on the program, soup at night is so wonderful. So all you need to do is add a half of an onion, any kind of onion. If you don't have an onion, you can add a leek, you can add whatever. You can actually not even add an onion because the stock is so flavorful. Add 2 cups of a fresh vegetable of your choice, and it's typically, you know, 1 stalk or 1 head of a large broccoli. And then what I always love to do is add a handful of, when they're in season, is sugar snap peas.
makes it
So sweet. So whether it's zucchini that you're using, whether it's a kale that you're choosing to use, spinach, zucchini, any of that, I always throw a handful, if you can find them, of the sugar snap peas, and they're delicious. And then all you have to do is cook it till they're soft, about 15 minutes, and then you puree it. And there you have this beautiful pureed soup that's just rich and delicious with flavor. Here's to this beautiful cup of soup.
And it's fabulous when you're on the cleanse, but it's equally wonderful
Oh yeah.
anytime.
Thank you for joining us today for Clean Cooking with the Curry Girls.
To see the full recipes, click on the links below, and we hope to see you in the kitchen soon.